The ocean has always been a place of mystery, vast, silent, and indifferent to the struggles of men. But during the Second World War, it became something more, a theater of strategy, courage, and relentless endurance. Beneath the waves and across storm-swept horizons, 7 men emerged as masters of the sea. They commanded not only fleets and submarines, but also the very fate of nations. From the depths of the Atlantic to the far reaches of the Pacific, their names became entwined with the greatest naval battles in history. Who were these commanders, and what decisions shaped the tides of war? If you enjoy uncovering powerful stories from history, make sure to like this video and subscribe. There are many more remarkable accounts waiting to be told. When the guns of Europe thundered in 1939, Karl Dönitz was far from a household name. A former submarine officer in the Imperial German Navy, Dönitz had spent years developing his theories on underwater warfare. To him, the submarine was not merely a vessel. It was a weapon of strategy, precision, and patience. As commander of Germany's U-boat fleet, Dönitz pioneered the Wolf Pack tactic, groups of submarines coordinating attacks on Allied convoys under the cover of darkness. In the early years of the war, this method devastated merchant shipping, cutting vital supply lines between North America, Britain, and the Soviet Union. By 1942, German U-boats had sunk more than 1,000 Allied ships, turning the Atlantic into what sailors grimly called the Black Pit. Yet technology and intelligence soon shifted the balance. The Allies improved radar and sonar, deployed long-range patrol aircraft, and broke the German naval code, allowing convoys to avoid deadly ambushes. Despite mounting losses, Dönitz remained fiercely loyal to his mission. By 1943, Adolf Hitler elevated him to commander-in-chief of the entire German Navy, and, in the chaotic final days of the Reich, to Hitler's own successor. When the smoke cleared over Pearl Harbor, the U.S. Pacific Fleet lay crippled. Amid the wreckage, a new leader stepped forward, Admiral Chester W. Nimitz. With calm precision and an unshakable sense of duty, Nimitz assumed command of the Pacific Fleet just 10 days after the attack. He faced an impossible task: rebuild a shattered navy and restore confidence to a wounded nation. Nimitz approached it not with rage, but with calculation. His understanding of submarine warfare, honed earlier in his career, gave him an edge in thinking asymmetrically. The turning point came in June 1942 at Midway. Using intelligence from American codebreakers, Nimitz set a daring trap for the Japanese fleet. The resulting battle ended with the sinking of 4 Japanese carriers, reversing the momentum of the war in the Pacific. From that moment, Nimitz and his commanders pursued a strategy known as island hopping, bypassing heavily fortified islands in favor of capturing strategic points closer to Japan. This pragmatic approach conserved American lives and resources while tightening the noose around the Japanese Empire. When the war finally ended in 1945, it was Nimitz who accepted Japan's surrender aboard the USS Missouri. In the years that followed, he continued to shape U.S. naval policy as Chief of Naval Operations, leaving behind a legacy of composure, intellect, and quiet strength. Across the Pacific, another man had shaped the conflict from the opposite side. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, commander of the Imperial Japanese Navy, was both visionary and realist. Educated at Harvard and later serving as naval attaché in Washington, he understood the industrial and military might of the United States better than most of his peers. Privately, he doubted Japan's chances in a prolonged war, yet he followed his duty with precision and resolve. It was Yamamoto who conceived and executed the attack on Pearl Harbor, a bold strike designed to cripple America's Pacific Fleet and force a negotiated peace. The operation's success on December 7th, 1941, shocked the world and pushed the United States into total war. But Yamamoto knew time was not on Japan's side. He sought a decisive victory before American industry could fully mobilize. That opportunity came and was lost at Midway. In June 1942, American forces anticipated his plan and dealt the Japanese Navy a catastrophic defeat. By 1943, Yamamoto remained a symbol of Japan's naval power. Yet through decrypted communications, American intelligence learned of his travel schedule. In April, U.S. aircraft intercepted and shot down his plane over Bougainville, an operation codenamed Vengeance. His death deprived Japan of its most capable strategist and marked a psychological turning point in the Pacific War. In Europe, 2 British admirals turned the tide of war with strategy, courage, and coordination. Admiral Bertram Ramsay was a man of method and precision, whose calm intellect would save hundreds of thousands. In 1940, with Allied troops trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk, Ramsay organized one of history's most daring evacuations. Over 9 days, a fleet of naval ships, fishing boats, and civilian vessels rescued more than 338,000 soldiers from near-certain capture. Ramsay's genius lay not only in crisis management, but also in planning. As the war continued, he became the naval commander for Operation Overlord, the D-Day invasion of Normandy. Working alongside Dwight D. Eisenhower, Ramsay coordinated the largest amphibious assault ever attempted. On June 6, 1944, his ships carried more than 150,000 troops across the English Channel, providing the foundation for the liberation of Western Europe. Tragically, Ramsay's life was cut short in a plane crash in January 1945, a profound loss to the Allied command. Meanwhile, Admiral Andrew Cunningham commanded Britain's Mediterranean fleet with a mix of discipline and daring. His strike on the Italian fleet at Taranto in 1940, carried out with slow biplanes under cover of night, crippled 3 battleships and demonstrated the potential of carrier-based air power, a tactic that later inspired Japanese planners at Pearl Harbor. In the final years of the Pacific War, 2 American admirals, William Bull Halsey and Raymond Spruance, embodied contrasting yet complementary styles of command. Halsey was aggressive, impulsive, and fearless, the embodiment of offensive spirit. His leadership energized his men and inspired confidence across the fleet. Yet his audacity occasionally came at a cost. During the Battle of Leyte Gulf in 1944, Halsey's pursuit of a decoy fleet left a crucial strait unguarded, nearly endangering American landing forces. Later, his fleet suffered severe losses during 2 typhoons, decisions that drew scrutiny but never diminished his role as a symbol of American determination. Spruance, in contrast, was calm, analytical, and methodical. When Halsey fell ill during the Battle of Midway, Spruance took command and made the fateful choices that secured one of the most decisive victories of the war. His cautious but deliberate tactics in the Marshall and Mariana Islands campaigns minimized casualties and ensured steady progress toward Japan. These 7 admirals lived at the intersection of human will and historical inevitability. Their choices altered not only the course of battles, but also the future of nations. They operated in an environment where every decision, a turn of the rudder, a decoded message, a moment of hesitation, could mean the difference between victory and disaster. Though their uniforms and flags differed, each faced the same unrelenting challenge: how to command amid uncertainty. From Dönitz's silent hunters beneath the Atlantic to Nimitz's vast armadas in the Pacific, their stories remind us that leadership at sea is both art and burden. Today, The oceans they once fought across remain peaceful highways of commerce, their scars long healed. Yet the lessons endure about strategy, restraint, and the profound cost of command. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you won't miss the next journey into the echoes of history.